Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Sunday, August the 20th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Weekly, open, and gap. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And I just want to remind you, like I usually do, we've got we've got 9 trading days left in the month. So make sure your risk management is in place. Your positions are sized accordingly and your stop loss is active. So you don't lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade. So taking a look at the week, we're 9.6 pips above the weekly open, 13 off the high, 11 off the low. And according to the dashboard, all the gaps, the weekly open gaps, have filled. We zoom out to the monthly. We're about 96, 97 pips below the monthly open, 104 off the high, 121 off the low. And you can see we're smack dab in the previous month's candle body. It looks like we're going into the upper wick zone of the weekly. And looking at the daily, we're putting in the opening range for the week. We are just 4 pips below the opening range for the month. We've actually, prices nosed in there and then it's pushed back out. So notice I think we've had more days inside the opening range than outside. Let's see, we've only had 1, 2, 3 days outside the opening range out of, let's see, that would be 15 days. Something to take note of. For the year, we're 648 above the open. We are 404 off the high and 936 pips off the yearly low. We had an inside bar 8 days ago. Prices inside that inside bar. And we had an inside bar 2 weeks ago. Prices inside that inside bar. So you can see here, we've got a lot of inside bar action across the pairs. Let's see what happened there. Must have hit the wrong thing. Only 2 pairs over 100 pips. Pound only 25 pips of range. And we are over 7 hours into the trading day. So I guess nobody's interested trading the pound at the moment. Something should probably happen when London wakes up. Maybe they're mourning their loss to Spain in the women's soccer tournament. Okay, as you can see, we gap down. Weekly open here. We dipped slightly below it, but not since that first hour we've been above it. As you can see, price is exiting the buy zone at the moment by about a pip. Rats with the range of 24.5. There's no rat trading at the moment. Not enough range. Bambino flex indicators indicating to look for long. The pivot trading plan says we should short at the pivot, short at R1, and at S1 go long. So looks like we almost opened just slightly below the pivot. And it has gone up from the pivot. And we've taken out the daily. Well, let's see, we've missed the weekly pivot, we've missed it by 12, so it has to drop down. Monthly, we're way below the monthly pivot. Looks like 139 pips. And for H4, I don't see any pivots from the past couple of days that need to be taken out. Got one from 85, or not days, but 85 H4 candles ago, and 293. So as you can see, prices seems to be kind of meandering in this channel right here on H4. And we are outside, just above the wick zone, the lower wick zone from Friday's daily candle. And remember, price doesn't like closing in wick zones. Nothing much on the range since we've only got 25, so we're nowhere near the previous week's high or low, or the previous day's high or low for that matter. And looking at the price action simple chart, I added the indicator 2 diamonds here. And looking here at M30, you can see not much range. Looking at H1, the same. This is why we usually don't trade at this time of day, because this is not the time for our methods. See, that's one thing about back testing. Unless you have a time constraint on it, it really doesn't tell you anything. It's like people over the years have made EAs for my methods, and then they say they tested them and they don't work. But I mean, if they were running them at this time of day, it's like, no, that's not the time to run it. But, you know, it's like fishing. If you don't go fishing when the fish are biting, you're not going to catch any fish. So if you don't, you know, with these methods, if you don't trade when there's a lot of volatility, you're not going to catch any pips. And looking at the highest low, lowest high, we're looking at H4 here. Normally, we're either on the 1 or 5 minute time frame. So you can see we put in a 3 ball. And what did it do? It did a 50% retrace as usual. I mean, these are the types of trades that you have to be patient and let these candles close, because you can easily jump in when you see that 3 ball first appear. You get over anxious, and somebody wanted me to do another 3-level ZZ video. I've done, I don't know how many, probably a dozen. So watch those, and if you have a question, feel free to answer. But as I've told people, you know, the 3-level ZZ indicator is not a reversal indicator. It's a breakout indicator. It's telling you that price is breaking out of a range. So that's why we have a 1 ball here. Because, well, let's see, where did it probably get put in? Probably about here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So probably on this candle. And so if you saw that 1 ball, if anything, as soon as you see the 1 ball, you should probably have gone long. Now, with me though, what happens is I see the 1, I'm in a trade. As soon as I see a 1 ball, it'll usually do like it did. It'll do a comeback. So you see it drop down, it put in a high and drop down to a low. And that's usually how I'll get wiggled out of trades. So as soon as I see that 1 ball, I like to exit if I'm in a trade. And sometimes I kick myself, but those times that I don't kick myself is when I'm glad I'm out. So our memories are really selective sometimes. It's almost like we want to focus on the pain and forget the pleasure. It's kind of interesting, actually. And the ranges, we haven't done anything in August. We have not extended the range, but you know, when you look at that monthly candle, where was it? We can do it right here. You can see it did not extend the range. So that's why there's really nothing much to see here now. Okay, we'll take a quick look here. Monthly chart, price between the wick zone. We're below the previous mid and below the pivot. Looking at the weekly, we're inside the upper wick zone slightly. Price is turning up at the moment. So we got a red candle followed by a green, and this one's green, so price is turning up. It says buyers are in strong control at the weekly. Weekly fade, pivot, sell down to 27.13. Looking at the daily. Prices between the wick zones on the daily, buyer strong control, lower high, higher low. Of course, this time of day we haven't put in anything. So fellow traders, probably have Walmart on the line this week, and maybe even Seeker might join us if he happens to call in during the time when we're making videos. So this week should prove kind of interesting. And I hope everybody out there is in profit for the month and for the year. And I hope everybody had a fun and safe weekend. I tell you, I just got home a little bit ago. I don't know why these guys wanted to tailgate me. Both of them, big old pickup trucks, tailgating my little Miata. It's like, look, the speed limit's 55, I'm doing 60, and they're just riding me. So, I don't know, it's crazy. So, like I said, I hope everybody's safe and sound out there. And I hope you come back, watch some videos this week, and, you know, give me some feedback. Like I said, if you have any questions, try and be specific, because I hate that back and forth when I'm not sure what you're talking about, especially if you're asking me about an indicator. You know, sometimes if you tell me, okay, it was at the 3:04 mark on the video, that's the indicators I was talking about. So, you know, I try to show the indicators on these charts here. I know a lot of times I forget, but there they are. Like I said, I added the indicator 2 right there. And this is just a bunch of smart ranges with different parameters. So, fellow traders, when you come back to trade, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.